I am so happy with how this looks for the Rangers. We have a pitcher, Jack Leiter, and he is a dude.
And while I do think his hitting is worse than Derek Jeter, it's not that far off.
You're not mentioning 2006. You can mention other people, not 2006.
Oh, just because I bought the best soap doesn't mean your room's going to be clean. It just leaves it to where I don't believe that the Canadians had a shot.
I really don't like the Clippers just kind of sending it in when they're like...
Hi, this is Kelly Forbes with the Dallas Stars, and listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NHL Opinions of the Week. In Austin, we have some surprising moves in the NHL trade market. The first one I'll say is this guy was rumored last year, but this one, it just kind of seemed to happen with Quinn Hughes being traded this season to the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah, crazy trade. Quinn Hughes is one of the best young defensemen in the league. Not only that, but Kevin, he was the captain of the team, right? So
yeah,
that's tough. I mean, trading the captain, I've definitely seen it happen before. This is not the first time it's happened. I still remember a couple of years ago, a lot of times where that happens. What's his name? Former Flames defenseman was on the Kraken, got traded from the Kraken while he was their captain. Was it Mark Giordano? Yeah, it was Mark Giordano. I still remember him getting traded while he was a defenseman for the Kraken. He was their, like I said, he was their captain at the time. I still remember him getting traded. It happens. Quinn Hughes has played good this year. He has two goals, 21 assists, 23 points in 26 games is very good for a defenseman. He's won a Norris previously, and this is a big haul for a Wild team that's trying to contend.
Yeah, and the Wild, you signed Kaprizov to that massive contract, and it shows that you need to be in that win now mode if you're going to hand that much money out to someone. And they are currently third in the Central Division. And that's no shame on them, given just how strong the Central Division has been at the top. And when you think about it from the Wild, of course, you're going to make that trade for someone young that you can defensively pair with Kaprizov. So you have the offense with Kaprizov and then defensively with Hughes. And now I'm curious with the Canucks, because if you look at the Canucks seasons over the years, they have struggled recently besides that 1 year where they were, I want to say, competing for the President's Trophy.
Yeah, they were first in the division. Yeah. They lost to the Oilers in 7 in a very close game. But yeah, if you look at the Canucks history, they made the playoffs also during the COVID season. They lost in the second round. They lost in the second round twice, and that's since 2015. So if we go since 2015, in 2020 they made it. In 2024 they made it. Both years they lost in the second round. This year they've been disappointing. They only have 25 points in 31 games, and I've been kind of saddened by how this team's really grown. If you would ask me who would be traded first between Brock Besser and Quinn Hughes, I would have said Brock Besser. Quinn Hughes is only 26 years old. He's one of the younger guys on that roster. They have Aatu Ratti, who's pretty young too, who I think's decent. Their goaltending's been kind of a struggle fest. I don't know. They have some problems. They traded him for a lot, though, so they've gotten a lot back for him. But it's always hard, and I know we talked about this previously when talking about big trades, is that you don't know what these players are going to be, right? It's a trust in not just your system, but also those players don't get injured, and that stuff happens correctly where you're building the rest of the roster outside of just the guys you trade for. So there's definitely some question marks regarding whether or not this move's going to be good moving forward. I understand making the trade. I would not have done it myself. I think Quinn Hughes is too good of a player to trade at this point of his career, especially when you have so much control. But I understand it a little bit.
Yeah, you can look at the argument is you got a number of different players to help your team that is just bad versus one guy who's 26. He's under a good contract. for the next year, and then he'll probably have to get, or he will need an extension. I'm sure the Wild will give him that. Vancouver may have been iffy. And this kind of brings to mind, for me, the Wild going and securing guys. While with Vancouver, I'm curious what they're doing because you have. So you mentioned that 2020 or last season they made the playoffs, and that was with Rick Tocchet as the head coach. He came in the middle of 2023. They had that resurgence. Then last year, made it to the playoffs, and then the Canucks.
Last year they didn't make the playoffs.
Or last year, okay, was it? Okay, yeah, I'm looking at
24, so 24, and last year, which would consider 25, they didn't make it. So
okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was looking at that wrong. But they had success with Rick Tocchet. Disappointing season last year, and then they choose. There was a disagreement with Tocchet and Vancouver, primarily financially. I think that's the only reason you would not bring him back is the difference in money. So
also, I think there was some concerns regarding how the roster was really responding to his coaching style. I think there was some differences in the locker room, but sure, probably money played some part of it. But I don't know. The Canucks have just not been. They've not had a lot of consistency throughout year to year, and they've been trying to change it. Okay, let's fix this and then fix that, but that affected this, and so let's change that again. And then they try to make too many changes too quickly, and I do think it's negatively affected the growth of this team, who has a lot of still, who I would consider maybe not young players. I don't know if 26 or 27 is young, but Elias Pettersson, this is his 27 season, still has a lot of potential, and there's a lot of guys on this roster I think have a lot of potential, and the fact that you're trading your best player 100% this early, it saddens me a little bit because I think that they still had a chance to maybe grow as a team, but obviously they decided that now is probably the best time to move off.
Yeah, and to your point, this team, yes, there's potential. They also demonstrated what they could do in that 23-24 season when they went to the second round. And it was a close game against the Oilers, who ended up going to the Stanley Cup Finals that year. So that it's not hard. It shouldn't be that disappointing given what your competition was up against. And to me, there is a point of trading the captain. I think that unless you're really bad, but you kind of have to have the conversation. I'm wondering if there was a conversation even before the trade happened. Was it, hey, we're looking to trade you? Because I do think there is something sacred about that captain, and just shipping him away feels wrong.
Yeah, I really hope there was a conversation. Obviously, I don't know if there was, but I'm hopeful that there was because I think that that's the only respectful thing to do, especially in a situation where you're trading away your captain.
Yeah. And I'm curious now, do they name another captain quickly, or does it just kind of... Because, yeah, they have to name a new one, right? Or no?
They don't have to.
Okay.
Mid-season, it kind of can go either way. I've seen it where they only have an assistant, or not technically assistant. They're, I think they're associate captains. But still, yeah, or alternate.
Okay.
Alternate captain. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm curious.
Captain. Yeah, alternate captain. So you can either have, I thought this was true. Yeah, you can have either a captain and two alternate captains, or you can have three alternate captains with no captain. So I bet they probably just add another alternate captain and don't name one until next season. That's what I think would probably be best for what you're doing, especially because you don't know necessarily if you can trade another one of your associate cap or alternate captain. So, yeah, it's it's a bad situation for the Canucks, but
great one for the Wild. And then, so you see a Canadian team getting rid of a top player. And then you have, of course, Edmonton. We talked about it before. Edmonton traded for a goalie, Tristan Jarry from the Penguins, which, to me, like you and I talked about, oh, wow, it was just straight up Jari for Skinner?
Yeah. I don't know how this is going to work. Jari's had his fair share of bad playoff moments. I think we all remember that Islanders game. And I believe that was 2021. Yeah, it was 2021. Just bad all around. He also basically passed the puck to the Islanders to eventually lose the series. But he's also had some good runs. I mean, in 24, he led the league in shutouts with 6, but didn't have a good save percentage. So he has some games where he's very good and has some games where he's very bad. This year, he's a 908 save percentage. In his first game with Edmonton, he did allow 3 goals and had an 893 save percentage. I don't think this fixes the issue, but I think the team is showing, like, hey, Connor, we're trying, man. But I don't know how much this fixes it.
Yeah, and part of it, so they sent Skinner, defenseman Brett Kulak, and a 2029 second-round pick to Pittsburgh for Jari, and then they also got forward Sam Paulin. But to me, yes, this, like we talked about in the other video, this is kind of like, okay, we don't want to make a drastic trade of going to get a great goalie. That would for sure solidify their group. This is like, okay, this guy's demonstrated it in the past, and he's better than what we have. But to me, that still creates issues of, is this really worth it, giving up a lot? And it may still not work. The goalie issue could still be an issue for Edmonton. Only time will tell. Because yes, Jari has shown flashes, but it's only going to matter if Edmonton wins the Stanley Cup. That's really what the goal is.
Yeah. And I think it's something, other way to determine whether or not this trade was good, because if Jari plays well and they still don't win it, then at least the trade showed fruitful in that fashion. But yes, overall, this goal for this team is 100% to win a cup. They've now lost back-to-back cup finals, and I do think that their expectations are only to win. And obviously that's what McDavid wants, and so the team is going to have to make moves that fit that agenda.
And I do agree it was a move to go, McDavid, we are trying. And then on the other side, Pittsburgh, Skinner, I want to say, was a Calder Trophy finalist, or did he win it?
It's a great question if you want it. I think he might have, but I don't think. Now I'm thinking about it. I don't think he did. No,
I
he
think
didn't.
he was a finalist.
He was second.
Okay, was second.
Behind, let me see.
Was this the
Beniers? Beniers, yep.
Yes. So, yeah. So, he was a finalist. And for Pittsburgh, you're trying to get better to maximize the final few years you have with Crosby. So, I don't hate the idea because you also got a second-round pick.
That's true.
And I'm not sure how much Kulak has done. Looks like his regular season plus minus is a -7, so not that great. But I think there's potential in this move for Pittsburgh, which is why I understand if they got rid of it. And it is cheaper because Skinner's on a $2.6 million contract, while Jari was making around $5 million.
Yeah, and both of these teams are trying to contend this season. If you're on a team with two of the best players of different generations, right? So you have Malkin and Crosby, then you have Draisaitl and McDavid, which are kind of very similar in their own ways, obviously at different parts of their careers. But Pittsburgh's still trying to contend this season. I think right now they're a point out of a playoff spot. So they're both kind of in desperation mode, trying to get in the playoffs or solidify their spot. So it makes sense.
Okay. So yeah, quite a surprising flurry of moves in the before the trade deadline. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We appreciate you listening to Outsiders Opinions.